Hello, fellow patriots. Welcome to Turn Right. This is the place where I like to expose the abundant lunacy of the left. And trust me, that is some low-hanging fruit. Today I want to talk about the Quality Learning or Learing Center of Minneapolis, Minnesota. That's been the focus of the documentary by Nick Shirley that exposed just the blatant fraud that's going on in Minnesota. Before I get into this, however, I want to make a little side note here. Um, it's been reported today that the Trump administration has gone into Venezuela and arrested Nicolás Maduro. He's a bad dictator, oppressing his people, and he's a cartel member. He's the head of a cartel, actually, killing our American citizens with all of the drugs that he's sending to our country. Uh, President Trump said in his campaign that he was going to crack down on illegal and deadly drugs, and he's doing it. Uh, Promises made, promises kept. That's all I'm going to say on that for right now. So let's get back into this with the Quality Learing Center. I decided to look into this so-called daycare center. I don't want to drive or fly halfway around the country, across the country, to take a look at it myself. So I decided to take a look at what their web presence looks like. That can tell you an awful lot about a business. So I pulled it up in Google, and one of the first things I noticed, it just kind of like jumped out at me. It's not it's not listed as a daycare center. It's listed as a mosque. Um, there's nothing on the signage outside of the building that says that it is a mosque. I'm thinking they're calling it a mosque to protect themselves. Um, Federal agents can't go storming into a mosque to arrest people. So I kind of think that's what they're doing. The other thing that struck me, no reviews. Okay, maybe that's not a big thing to some people, but when I go down through all of the other daycare centers in this area, um, they all have ratings, they have reviews. Um, why don't they have reviews? Um, Maybe because there's no actual children, no actual parents. That's what I'm thinking. Next thing I noticed is they've been telling us on the news that they are open from 2 until 10. But according to this on Google, it says open 24 hours. So let's click on that. Let's take a look at it. Click on this, bring down, show drop down. Not only are they open 24 hours a day, they're open 7 days a week. I didn't hear anybody from this daycare center, alleged daycare center, mentioning that they were open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They gave specific hours that they are open, and well, shocked and surprised, they lied. So after noticing that and digging into that, I wanted to take a look at their website. With the exception of a couple, well, three um, different daycare centers, they have a website. So does Quality Learing Center. Let's take a look at it, shall we? Okay, this is their website. Um, I was just shocked when I opened this up. I wasn't expecting much, but I mean, this just is beyond the pale. Um, I have created websites. I took classes in web development, and when I first started doing this, even on my first day taking HTML classes, which is the coding language for websites, um, I was able to do better than this. Just looking at a couple of chapters in the book, I was able to do something better than this. Um, First things that I see is these are supposed to be pictures. Okay. Normally, when you have a symbol like this and has the little broken picture image up here in the corner. If you click on it, it's going to bring up a message basically saying that the picture doesn't exist or it didn't load, corrupted file, whatever. Um, these are not hyperlinked. You click on them, nothing happens. It's a static image. This here surprised me. This is their menu. Um, once again, very amateurish. I've put together menus like this on some simple web pages that I've done, and you have to size it so that you can see it. They don't even have that. Let's take a look at the services they offer. Now, bear in mind, this is supposed to be a website for a child care center. So, quality management systems, I don't see a 6-year-old getting into quality management systems. Now, these here I'm very familiar with, including quality management systems. Before I retired in January, I had a 40-plus year career in manufacturing. These are all manufacturing standards. ISO 9000, this is just your basic uh, manufacturing standard, um, telling you what is supposed to be and what's not supposed to be as far as your quality systems go. You have to get certified to this standard in order to put it in. QS 9000, that's Quality Systems 9000, tied directly into ISO 9000. TL 9000, I'm not sure of that one, but I've heard of it before. AS 9000, this is an aerospace standard. This is some pretty complicated stuff. Once again, I don't see a 6-year-old doing that, getting into that. Now let's go back to this menu here. So this is the home page, and we can see everything here. Okay, so we're going to go to, I think this is consulting. Kind of looks like consulting. Yep, consulting. Basically, they took out the description from the home page, and they copied and pasted it, or they put in a new description. All this stuff here, they just copied and pasted that from the home site. Training, same thing. All they did was copy and paste this. This right here is exactly like it looks like here. Okay, once again, just a copy and paste job. The other thing I noticed, they got the Quality Learning Center mentioned up here. There's no link. Normally, this would take you to the home page, and you'd see this on all of the pages. Let's go back to, yeah, so you got the same thing here. This should be a link to get you back to the home page. It's not there. The other thing I noticed, where is the address, the phone number, anything that identifies this daycare center, manufacturing, consulting place? I don't know. It's all rather confusing. So let's go back to Google here. There's still more to go. Come on, hurry up and load. So you click on this, and this is going to bring up a description of the quote-unquote daycare. Now, please excuse the awkward silence here. I was going through this yesterday, and there should be photos over here. They're not there. Wow, where'd they go? And they were horrible photos. One was a picture of a guy, white guy, putting something up his nose or smelling something or about to put something up his nose. It was rather bizarre. Uh, Maybe if I went here, let's go down here, let's do this, and nope, it's gone. One of the pictures that I saw, of course, there's no reviews. One of the pictures that I saw here yesterday when I was going over this, like I said, the guy putting something up his nose, and there's some pictures of children sleeping on the floor, which is not unusual in daycare. I've been around daycares many years. I got friends and family that have worked or are currently working at daycare centers. That's not unusual. What I found unusual, and God, I wish I could find those pictures again. Um, there was a picture of a bunch of kids. They're playing in a heap of garbage. I mean, I looked it up on my phone, I zoomed it up, and sure enough, it's a bunch of kids playing on a pile of trash. I'm confused. I don't know what this has to do with daycare centers. So we've looked at the example of their website here. Um, I want to know. So I pulled up some other daycare sites. Look at their web page. Gives the address right here. Gives a phone number and a link to Facebook. Okay. Now, if I get to any other page, like Meet Our Staff, I click here, it takes me back to the home page. That's the way that other website is supposed to work, but it's not. This is pretty cool. I mean, they have a page for Meet the Staff. And one thing I noticed is these staff are very well educated, bachelor's degree, and these are all in childhood education. BA in child psychology, elementary education. These are all very highly trained staff. I'd be really curious to see uh, what the other staff or what the other website would have for their staff. Once again, click on this, right back to the home page. That's the way the web page is supposed to work. Um, Now, I looked at another uh, uh, site. I heard there was a lot of violations for this daycare center. Here are the violations going from May of 2022 to June of 2025. So essentially 3 years. And you can look at the violations, and some of them are really bad. Um, let's see, what do we got? Okay, so those are the fines. Um, Go down to one of the earlier ones, license review, um, violations. Here we go again. Um, Now here, the one I just clicked on, the one from 22, attendance records did not contain required items. Oh, shock and surprise. Um, the program did not have a file for each child. Once again, shock and surprise. Um, Now, dig this. Electrical outlets were not tamper-proof or shielded. When my grandkids were born, before they came over to my house for the first time, I covered up all of the sockets. There was no way they were going to put something in there. Uh, Carpet and rugs not in good repair, did not meet safety requirements. Area used by children were not in good repair. Um, Meals did not comply with the nutritional requirements of the USDA. Um, Child's hands not washed. I mean, just on and on and on and on. Um, if you ask me, they should have been shut down just for this one. Um, but all they did is they gave them a slap on the wrist and told to get together or get their stuff together and comply. But apparently they didn't do a good job of that because it's been going on for over 3 years. So That's what I wanted to get into today. Um, what do you think? Tell me down in the comments. Is Minnesota like the hub of the country for welfare fraud? Um, Let me know. What do you think of this website for the Quality Learning Center, Learning Center, everything else? Let me know down in the comments. If you like this video, please hit the like button. And if you like what I'm putting out, please hit the subscribe button. Very important. That way, the algorithm will help you get to my page. So that's all I got today. This is Turn Right, and have an excellent day. And I'm out.